Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we'll talk about Nikola Vucevic and Marko both participating in the World Cup. Then we'll also be talking about what happens with Vooch after his contract year. And lastly, we'll do our predictions for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls. Oh, you did have that's an album.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls and making us your first listen every day. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered with this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm CEO Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central, and we're jumping right into it. Pat, Vooch, and Marko Simonovic will be competing for their team in the World Cup. How do you feel about it?
I love it, right? Because you get to see, let's be real, we know what Vooch is. Maybe I don't love Vooch as much, but I love the opportunity to get to see Marko compete with this newfound size that he's added, right? To see how he's going to use that, how he's going to be moving on the court, how he's going to be attacking different, if he's going to be attacking stronger, if his time in the NBA has changed his game, kind of evaluating it from before he came into the league to where he is now. The interesting part about seeing that growth is going to be kind of, do we believe that he's improved enough, right? Because he already was dominating competition when he was over there. Is he now to the point where we're looking at this man like, yo, he's out here on a whole different level, Luka level versus these guys, Embiid level when he plays versus these guys now, versus where he was before. That's the thing that I want to see the most, because then, right, like, of course, now it's like, well, at a minimum, he should be getting a little bit of tick in the NBA. He should be getting consistent 10 in the NBA. I think that's going to be the interesting thing to see about it. I'm excited for it. Vooch, maybe relax, Vooch. Yeah, I mean, for me, long season, made it to the playoffs. I don't need to see you getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? You a key piece of, at a minimum, some kind of trade. Although he don't think he's going nowhere. I like the how do they know what I'm thinking that he dropped. With Rudy Gobert laughing at it. But, I mean, do you see something more out of this?
I mean, the way that I look at it, so they're playing France and Portugal next month, and these are the qualifiers for the 2023 World Cup tournament. I do want to see Marko, and like you said, I do want to see Marko. I want to see how he plays, if he's still light, if he still has that get up and go with the added weight, things like that. I don't know if Vooch has anything. I'm honestly surprised Vooch isn't retired from international play, because he just has, what do you have left to prove? You've dominated over there. But one thing that
them mugs love
yeah. I mean,
they be getting it. Patty Mills be going to ham internationally.
Yeah, but what I will say, though, is that this is a nice, I would look at it as a tune-up for the season, right? This gives them a jump start of playing actual competitive basketball before training camp, before anything like that. I mean, I like it for that. I am interested to see how Marko looks, but at the end of the day, we've already seen Marko in international play. We've seen him in G League play. This time, we need to see what he does in actual NBA competition, but I'm not completely poo-pooing on it. It's just the fact that, I'm not as excited as, like, if this was an announcement saying, hey, Marko Simonovic is getting 15 minutes in a preseason game, I'm a little bit more excited about that than I am international play, right? Just because we've kind of seen it already. Now, one thing that I do want to point out as well is Marko's been with Vooch all summer. And I know we've talked about Patrick Williams going over there with DeMar. Marko being with Vooch this much is as important to his development as Patrick Williams being with DeMar. And I think we don't talk about it enough, because Marko is still such an unknown commodity, because we don't know, is it Billy Donovan that doesn't believe in him? Is it the front office did just want to give him a year to put on some weight, things like that? Like, we can speculate on it all day, but we really don't know for sure. But I will say is that being with Vooch, hopefully seeing how Vooch prepares for the NBA, compares for competition, whatever it is, teaching them little tricks and things like that, gets Marko better prepared, because I think And in the next topic, I have some hot takes there too. But I really do think Vooch truly taking Marko under his wing, it can't do nothing but be positive for him and for us overall.
No, I agree, and I think that's the one thing that you look at about it, right? And you want to see what Vooch has done with Marko that's rubbed off. You want to see where Marko really is, and what he's added to his game. Like we said, he's a 3-level scorer, and he's a guy that if he's shooting the ball well, can shoot the ball at a much better clip. I would think career wise than Vooch has. Not to say Vooch has been a bad career 3-point shooter, but Marko's got more of a 3-point come into the league European kind of build where like I see him more as a face up score than I do a back down score. But I do want to see what kind of moves, what kind of offensive attack he's added to the game, and if there's some of that Nikola Vucevic in Marko that adds to his game and keeps him moving in the right direction. There's so much to be seen, and it's weird, right? Because it's like, is this? I'll ask you this before we go into the next topic. Like, is this something that could dictate what AK does in the draft? Is seeing him go over there and dominate? Because France, is Rudy playing for France? I
would imagine that he probably is.
I would assume Rudy's probably playing for France, right? So you're going to have some legit players that they're going up against, right? If Marko's able to get in there and get busy, does this change what AK might do in the draft if he sees him? Now, is the draft it'll be after the draft already, won't
this
it?
This because the draft's in 2 weeks and this is a month. Yeah, this is so the month. Yeah, I don't think that AK and Eversley know they're playing. Like, I don't think anything was honestly, I don't think anything's going to throw them off whatever because they're going to have, as we talked about, 15,000 different variations of the plan. Yeah. They're well prepared for whatever the plan is. So I don't know if it does that, but I mean, whatever that they see with Marko and project his future to be, I think that has played into their plan. And they are the only ones who really know the vision, right? They're the only ones who knows what kept Marko from being on the court. Like I said, we can speculate all day, but yeah, I mean, it just really, when it comes to Marko, it's like you guys gave him the 3-year contract over at Iowa. Like everything, there's so many things that point to them being invested in his future.
Yeah,
that like you got to think that we're seeing Marko next season, because there's nothing that a player like Marko, after dominating in the G League in his first season out, that he can gain from the G League anymore. There's nothing. What is he going to do? Is he going to break the G League scoring record? Like, is that something that we want to see him do? Like, at some point, you got to just come over and you got to take your bumps and bruises. If he's still not quite physically ready, you got to take your bumps and bruises. Listen, the difference between Vooch and Marko is Vooch did come play college basketball over here, and that helped him better prepare. Marko didn't, and that's fine. Marko's going to be 21, I think, next season, so he's still extremely young. Right, it's not like he's like one of those foreign players that came over at 22 already. He's still very, very young, going to be younger than some rookies. And he, to your point about the 3-point shooting, Vooch had to work himself into being a volume 3-point shooter.
He Marko comes part of that NBA like that.
Yeah. So
he evolved into that. It's like Al Horford, dog. Like,
shooting Al threes, but when Al Horford came into the draft, somebody would have told you he would have shot 6 for 8 from 3 in the NBA Finals. They would have smacked you.
Hey, bro, Al Horford shot 100% from 3 one year because he only took 1. That's crazy, man. Like, the NBA changed completely around those guys. So yeah, man, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think it also, I mean, as much as we're putting all this faith and confidence in it, like we say, like, what's he going to do? Break the G League scoring record? If the G League is really becoming an AHL program, guess what? There's some AHL lifers. The G League really might be a G League lifer if that's what it becomes. I don't know. I don't believe that, but like, maybe there is just that gap that between G League and NBA, he can't make the league.
But if AK and Eversley saw that for him, they wouldn't have given him the 3-year deal. That's a nice commitment. They wouldn't have given him a 3-year deal if that's the plan. And I'm not saying I'm just what I mean by that is to say that he's going to have to get NBA minutes next season. Now, if he shows that he's still not ready, all right, then listen. Then that at that point, it's on you to earn those minutes. But I mean, it's on him to earn it either way. But I do think that he's going to come into training camp this season more. I think he came into training camp with the expectation, all right, we're sending him in the G League regardless of how he looks. This year, coming into training camp, I think is going to be different. What can Marko give us on the NBA level? And that's what we see if we can cultivate that out of him. And preseason is going to be that for him.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Hope to see it, man, because good Lord. We need somebody with size that can do something.
Listen. And Marco's skill set in passing, I think two people don't really realize how good of a passer Marko is for a big man.
Yeah.
That passing that he can do, and we've seen it with Vooch when he passes well, can really open up the floor for the Chicago Bulls. And so
100%.
we'll see. We'll see. All right. So next up, we'll be talking about what exactly we see happening from Vooch in his contract year. Does he leave? Does he stay? Does he get traded? Does he even make it to the end of the season? We'll talk about all that next. But first, got to talk to you guys about TrueBill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download TrueBill to take control over your subscriptions. TrueBill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with TrueBill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and TrueBill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. TrueBill has over 2 million users and have helped them save over a combined $100 million. Come on, man. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
$100 million?
That is wow. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now. Truebill.com/lockedonnba. It could save you thousands a year. All right. So next up, Pat, I got a question for you. And I was thinking about this, of course, because Vooch came on. What exactly do we see happening with Vooch? This is a contract year for Vooch. There's a lot of options that the Bulls can go. I'm not necessarily saying that he won't be traded. I will say this, that as of right now, I definitely don't think he's traded before the season starts unless an amazing deal presents itself. Yeah. So that remains. Do we see Vooch at the end of this contract? Does he just walk away? Does he re-sign? What do you think happens with Vooch that culminates after this contract year for him?
What does Vooch having a all-star season mean for him getting paid going forward? That's the question you got to ask, right? Like, if Vooch having a all-star season, I'm not even saying a superstar level season, but it's a bounce back season where he's the Vooch of Orlando, and we're not hearing trade Vooch, and we're actually hearing re-sign Vooch. Like, if he has that level of a season, right, how much does that cost the Bulls moving forward? Because you cannot give Nikola Vucevic another $20 million deal, no matter what, because he'll be, what, 30?
He'll be 32. Yeah,
at the end of it,
he turns 32 in October, so before the season starts.
So you'll be talking about your next contract. You'll be dealing with a 33-year-old player if you were to re-up on Vooch. I think that's going to dictate, kind of what Vooch is, right? Because if you don't feel like you can hold on to Vooch, unless you feel like you're making a championship run, like you're in a position to make a championship run, I think he'll start the season with the Bulls, but I don't know if he'll finish it with the Bulls because you don't want to lose him for nothing. I mean, sign and trade is always an option at the end of the day, but for me, right, like I'm looking at Vooch as a player who, even at 33, 34, 35, he's still going to give you some kind of value no matter what. Like, it's not, he's got enough skill set. It's not like his game's going to precipice off the edge of the earth. Like we've seen with certain bigs that just don't have a skill set to go along with their game. So I think if you feel you can get Vooch back in here for, say, 15 mil a year and 33, 34, 35, maybe on a 3, or maybe just a 2-year deal, a 1-1, 15 even, 30 for 2, then yeah, you'll see Vooch around. Because I think Vooch is going to play well this year. Most guys in contract years give you their best.
See, I don't think Vooch is going to command even $15 million a year. I honestly think, regardless if Vooch has a good season or not. Now, if he has a bad season, I'd see the Bulls just letting him walk. But Vooch has a good season. I can see him considering maybe back end of his career, this team's getting better. Things like that. He can be around as a mentor for Marko, and still be a quality starter probably for another couple of years. I think about $7 or $8 million to probably get it done for Vooch, a 32-year-old, 260-pound center who, is not based off athleticism. Like, yes, Vooch is always going to be, and that's the thing. Vooch is always going to be productive because he has a back to the basket game and he's an excellent passer.
Yeah.
But I think $7 or $8 million a season get it done, and if he's willing to accept that, I can absolutely see Vooch coming back here on a 2+1 or something like that.
See, I think that's the question, right? Because if he has and I said 15 on a 2-year deal because like or 15 a year on a 2-year deal because if he has an all-star season, that's what a championship team will pay him. Right? Like if we're a piece away and we're on a championship team, right? Kyle Lowry didn't make chump change this season. You know what I mean? Like what was Kyle Lowry making this year? Like I remember he signed what did he get this year? It was one of those I was like, you paying that much for Kyle Lowry? Yeah, I'm saying, and I think Vooch will be able to give you more because of how much he does offensively. So if you're I don't know who's a team that's a piece away, maybe
But
Brooklyn
this is
runs
a
it back.
guard league. I like Kyle Lowry, yes, got 20-something million dollars, but this is a guard
Stupid.
league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't that level of guard.
36, he's 36
He
years
ain't
old.
never been that level of guard.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
You know what he was? He was the perfect dude to stand next to Kawhi Leonard. Like he's
3
never been,
years, $85 million
bro. And
that's
that's
crazy.
and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, so if you're talking about getting Vooch back in here, you're probably talking about a higher contract. Now, of course, the Bulls would love to get him back in here, 7 or 8 mil. But if Vooch has a all-star level season, you're going to see a team that feels like they're a piece away, a championship team, throw probably 12, $13 million his way a year and probably on a longer term deal. So if you're going to keep him, you're going to have to go higher. Now, whether they want to do that, that's a different scenario, right? But AK did say he wants to keep this core together.
So I'm looking up NBA center contracts right now, right? I'm looking at players around Vooch's production. And again, I know you're building around all-star centers. I don't think Vooch, regardless of how good he is, I don't think he's gonna have an all-star season. But looking at centers around Vooch's age, now there are some players, for example, I'm going ahead. Clint Capella, $22 million last year. He's 27 years old, though. He's considerably, and okay, let's use I think Brook Lopez is a nice comp thing to use for around Vooch's contract.
Is he older? Brooks older, right?
Same age, 31.
Okay.
So this would lean more towards your point. Brook Lopez, $13 million last season.
Probably, yeah. And listen, if something happens with Brook, which Brook has been up and down, don't be surprised if you see Vooch drive 90 miles up. Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like that's something where
Serge Ibaka got $9 million a season.
Yeah, dog. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I say if he has a all-star level, like right, he had a bad season this year. It's 17 and 11.
It was, yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a down season. It wasn't a bad season. It was a down season.
Based on his standards, right? He had a bad season based on what we're used to Vooch giving
but
you.
he could play a completely different role. You went from
No,
being the first option to the third. So that's why I don't say it's a bad. Still, top, as I've been saying, when you're top 10 in every statistical category for your position, it's not a bad season.
That's true. but it's a, you know, it's a down season for what he's used to. I think that's the thing to me that I looked at and I'm like, well, if he's having a down season, like if he bounces back, what's that, 20 and 13? You know, 22 and 10, 22 and 11. Yeah, I mean, like depending on what he focuses on, if he plays out his contract on that, they're gonna be teams out there looking to pay him big.
And I don't know if they. Here's the thing: do the Bulls go more to Patrick because he was the third option? If the Bulls go to Patrick Williams more, he may very well be the fourth option on this team coming up into next season.
Definitely
so, yeah, but I mean, if for some reason Vooch is able to have an all-star season, then yes, that man is about to give that. I want to be clear there. Where I disagree is I don't think Vooch is going to have an all-star season. Now, if Vooch does have an all-star season and bounces back in that way, oh yeah, he's getting 12, 14, $15 million a season.
And I think that's the biggest question, right? Like you don't know. I don't think he'll be moved before the season because unless we actually go get Rudy Gobert, which I guess the rumors are heating up, I don't see that being a viable option for a deal to get done. Like that's the only piece I'm moving that I think that they would move Vooch for that's on the market right now. Like you're not moving Vooch for John Collins right now because I don't think that they're going to want that move because they don't have a team that needs an expiring contract right now. They need pieces that are going to help you win right now. I look at really just to go Bears. So I don't think he'll be moved preseason. I think he'll be here during the season. If he's playing well, maybe you think about moving him at the halfway point. But also, if he's playing well and the Bulls are playing well, you might be feeling like you got a run in you. You're probably not moving them in, so you're probably talking about them being here the entire season.
Yeah, I think Vooch is going to be here all next season. Vooch was the 7th highest paid center last year.
He makes a lot of money. I ain't gonna lie to you. He makes a lot of money right now for. I get what he's giving us, but he make a lot of money. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The fact that Nikola Vucevic is the 5th highest paid center in the league.
Give it a year.
Oh yeah, I
when
mean
that
that
contract kicks in, you know what I mean?
Extension coming.
Hey man, before we get into this final topic where we break down the finals, man, Game 5 gonna be lit in this month. Steph was talking big trash out here. I love it. We do want to tell you guys about the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft. It starts June 16th with over 50 insiders. Nothing equals the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft. The Locked On NBA Big Board Draft experts plus the Odyssey Insiders. First pick is June 16th. Search Ultimate NBA Mock Draft and follow now so you don't miss a pick. We also got to tell you guys about BetOnline.net. It's your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. You can find the latest in sports development, news, and odds, including this year's NBA Finals, NBA Basketball Championship. What is that? The NHL Hockey Conference Finals, MLB, and of course the latest fighting news in MMA and UFC to boxing. Hey, who won last night with Shorty? I know the girl who head inflated from the last fight fought last night. I don't know if you're an MMA guy. Don't worry about it.
I am, but I didn't watch any fights.
Oh, okay. Somebody tell me in the comments who won last night. I didn't even see it. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and more. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right. Last topic of the day. NBA Finals, brother. Golden State versus Boston. Golden State came back big time in Game 4 to win that game, man. This is going 7 games, bro. I
hope so.
It's something so special when the NBA Finals go 7 games, brother. It's just a special time in sports. But what are we looking at? Game 5, bro. What are some of your expectations?
This is my thing with it, bro. First off, I'm like, let's not rush this. You know what I'm saying? Monday's coming, but like it's here. I mean, but let's not rush this. You know, we got 2 games of basketball left after the night. 2 games of basketball left. But if it don't get, we might have one. I look at this as now Golden State series to win because the one thing that I said that I questioned most about Golden State going into Boston was Jordan Poole and Gary Payton II going to be comfortable with playing in the NBA Finals not at home. Now they're back home. And they weren't comfortable in Boston, really. Like you really didn't see. You saw Poole get a little comfortable, but not really. Peyton looked uncomfortable the entire time. Like I was watching him, and I was like, you in the finals right now, right? And getting a lot of minutes out here. But now they get to go back home where they're comfortable. They understand the rims. They understand how things fall. I got Golden State taking tonight's game. Another hard-fought game, but I do got Golden State taking tonight's game, and I think that they're going to be. I think it's probably going to go 7, and we could be talking about Golden State hoisting it in 7 again, because I just think that we saw Golden State's role players absolutely shrink in Boston, and Stephen Curry was just that good. That's my, like, it's going to be tough to beat them if their role players are playing well.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be hard for them to beat them. This series has just been so. It's been a fun series. I can't remember the last time I had this much fun watching the final series. It's been great. I do think the Warriors win this one at home. If Boston steals this one at home, they're winning.
If Boston steals this one,
they can't let it go. They can't let it go back to Game 7.
Boston winning in Game 6.
You can't. Boston cannot let Game 7, if they win this one, go back to Golden State. So I think both teams, they know what this means for a must win for them, and for both teams in certain ways. And I'm just gonna go with the experience. I'm gonna expect Golden State to be able to pull it out. But listen, I would not be surprised if Boston wins this game tonight at all. So, but
I
either
wouldn't
way,
I
by
wouldn't be
Sunday,
surprised by it. It's gonna be interesting to see, right? I'm not gonna lie. Like, is Draymond? Does he know the final started yet, or is
I
he
don't
just
know. But the fact
he
that his
working on
mama
the
tweeted
side,
and said that he
bro?
was like, bro, once your mama says you playing like crap, bro, like, come on,
His mom says, "Stop tweeting me." I don't know what's wrong with him.
man. Maybe he was replaced. Like, come on. When your mama says that, that's deep, man. That's
Hey. Now here's the thing, right? Does that flip a switch? Did something just snap inside of Draymond when he saw his mom's tweet?
bro. Listen, I hate to say this, right? Like, is Draymond gonna be the first one to decline from that big three, bro?
I
Like,
think we always knew that.
man,
Because it's such an aggressive style of basketball that he
that's
plays. It's
true.
such a
That's true.
grind
But
it
it was
out,
never
grind
like
it out.
based on athleticism. So I really thought Draymond was gonna be able to just keep this up until the wheels fell off. But
Nah.
listen, man.
I thought he would be the first to go until Clay started getting injured. The thing
Yeah.
that and I don't even know if he's really done, right? But like the thing
Yeah,
for
we're not
me
saying that.
that
Yeah.
that I look at with Draymond right now is that if he can really turn it on and give you something worth being on the court, then I guarantee Boston's not going to have an answer for the Warriors. And I don't even feel like they're using him like that no more. Like it was Gary Payton, Jordan Poole, Draymond, I think Clay was out there too, and Kevon Looney. And Draymond wasn't running the offense. And it was
Bro,
the first time I looked at it and I was like, I don't think I've seen that with the bench unit in where he's just not running the offense.
Draymond's stat line for this just the finals.
Yeah.
35 minutes per game. 30% shooting overall from the field.
Yep.
He has not made a single three-pointer this whole series.
And he's taking quite a few.
He's averaging 2.3 3-pointers per game, but he took 4 in last game, which kicked up. So, bro, 17% free throw shooting percentage from Draymond in this series. 5.8 assists, almost 2 steals per game. Like, this is wild, bro.
It's different, bro. And I look at it, bro. Somebody tweeted this to me, and now I can't unsee it. Or not tweeted it. They said it because we've been live calling all the games. Somebody said this during the live call, and now I can't unsee it. They said Draymond Green is just tall Patrick Beverly right now.
Oh shit, bro. Wow.
Hey, and then at first I was like, nah, come on now. You know, Pat Bev Draymond's got a higher IQ. Pat Bev's got a high IQ as well. But then as I started watching, I was like, man, that's a heck of a call right there, dog. It's not a bad call. It's not a bad name to throw out there.
Bro, like, and watch now that between his mama's tweeting and us talking about it, the next 2-3 games out the series, Draymond gonna be cooking, bro.
Yeah, he cooks. He's gonna have 7 assists. He's gonna have a couple of 10-point games. Like, really, that's all it needs. Like, Draymond moves the money line.
That's it. Hit
That's
your
all you
open
need to
threes,
know, like,
wide open threes, hit those,
bruh.
and get 10 points, 8 rebounds. That's all we need from
you. It's if he can wake up, now I will say, right, like, Al Horford, I think, has gotten the upper hand on him in this series, and like switching onto these guards hasn't worked out the way he thought it was going to. Jaylen Brown has cooked that matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I see that changing because of the names on the other side. But if he does wake up, Golden State in 6.
Okay. Fair.
I don't know if I see him waking up though.
Yeah, listen. Man, y'all gotta they need to hire Dr. Phil to come and talk to Draymond between the next game.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope Golden State win. I want Golden State to win. I picked them to win in 5. But I want them to win in 7 now. With Draymond kind of still playing the way he is, just for the future entertainment of it. Where like he's on the show on TNT with Shaq. And he just looks at Shaq and they just like, yeah, man, you know that last championship, at least I did more than you did, brother. Like 2 points, bro. What are you doing?
Oh man, that'd be freaking hilarious, man. But yeah, there you go. That's our picks for the game 5. I mean, you got anything left, brother?
That's it, man. That's it. We got another fun week of off-season content for y'all. It's getting harder. We making it
Yeah.
we making it up as
Listen,
we go.
news is all but slow. We're in the dark times of sports in general. It's really baseball and crazy rumors that whatever you already know. I guarantee you, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to get an article that the headline is this: Zach LaVine and Dame have talked on the phone. That's going to be the headline.
Not about
anything.
Not
just
about
they
what
talked
it
on the
actually
phone.
is. They talked on the phone.
They talked on the phone.
Oh, the conversation was, yeah, man. I like sushi too. Yeah,
no, the conversation was probably like, "Hey, man, you in LA? Yeah, I'm in LA. Hey, man, you want to meet up and go to California Pizza Kitchen? Let's do it."
They really be eating that out there? Don't worry.
No, probably.
Hey,
not.
man, let's get up out of here, man. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Also follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. Appreciate y'all for showing love for another week, man.
Absolutely. And you can follow me at CEO Haize on every social media platform. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Now for your second listen, you already know what I'm about to say. I've been saying it for a while now. Go and check on NBA Mock Draft. NBA Locked On NBA Big Board. You guys got to go and check them out. Rafael Barlow does his thing over there. Listen,
you do be killing.
They break it down scientifically as far as the NBA draft, mock draft, big boards, player rankings, everything. So if you want to get prepared for the NBA draft, you want to go and check them out. Other than that, we are out for this week. We love you, beautiful people, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.